Omid Scobie, the author of Endgame, seems determined to turn the title of his book into a reality for the royal family. As the eager mouthpiece for Harry and Meghan, he has taken on the mission to inflict crippling damage on the House of Windsor through the deployment of an unceasing barrage of incendiary smears and vicious slurs against Harry's own relatives. That has led to two senior members of the royal family being now named in connection with racism allegations by certain media outlets. The Daily Express is firmly of the belief that is wrong and they should not be named, especially as they have no effective way of defending themselves. The royal family will no doubt be once again forced to adopt its defensive stance of never complain, never explain. We believe this is a rank injustice, and naming him only helps to propagate a disgraceful smear which is clearly designed to damage the monarchy. We should all be backing the royal family in their dignified attempts to rise above the noise, keep calm and carry on, though the temptation to meet fire with fire must be huge. After all, in Scobie's lurid narrative, the king is portrayed as out of his depth on his accession to the throne, while Prince William is painted as ambitious, cold and ruthless, and his wife is dismissed cruelly as a pliable, lightweight who supposedly has nothing like Meghan's gifts as a public performer and is even said to struggle over low-key, well-rehearsed public appearance. It was on that infamous Oprah Winfrey extravaganza of anti-royal vitriol that Harry and Meghan dealt what was their most explosive accusation, when they claimed that two very senior members of the royal family had openly speculated about the potential skin color of their forthcoming child, who was subsequently named Archie. During her show, Oprah gave a stagey, dramatic gasp at this revelation, while Harry and Meghan adopted tones of bewildered outrage. In the fallout from the program, this particular episode was elevated by the Sussex camp into an international scandal, providing a justification for the Sussex eagerness to escape Britain and feeding the anti-monarchists' narrative that the royal family was a nest of white privilege and hate. To many observers, the whole saga seemed utterly manipulative, overblown and contrived, especially when numerous mixed-race couples came forward to say that in their own families there had been perfectly frank, open and often amusing discussions about the likely appearance of their offspring. The late Queen of course summed it up beautifully by saying, "While some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. And private those discussions should stay." Yet on the night of the Oprah interview, having put this incident in the public realm, Harry and Meghan refused to name the so-called racists, perhaps because they wanted to drag out the affair or simply because they did not have the evidence to back up the claim and were worried about being sued for libel. Become an Express Premium member. Support fearless journalism. Read the Daily Express online. Advert free. Get super fast page loading. Start 30-day free trial. But the appearance of Scobie's book has now ensured that the identity of the pair has been disclosed. This happened, it is said by Scobie's team, because a translation of the Dutch version mistakenly contained the two names. When the error was discovered, the book was withdrawn from shops in the Netherlands and pulped. But this explanation is deeply unconvincing. Scobie's English text, from which the Dutch version was presumably made, does not have the two names, so how did they end up in the pages intended for readers in the Netherlands? It should be recognized that this affair has been tremendously convenient for Scobie. In return for a few pulped copies, he has got acres of publicity in print and across the airwaves. Moreover, the two names have now been released. They have featured in newspapers like the left-wing Guardian, whose destructive Republican agenda matches the campaign by Meghan and Harry, in broadcast shows like that of Piers Morgan on Talk TV. This paper, however, has chosen not to give out the two names because to do so would be plain wrong. By tradition, the royals cannot sue for libel, and therefore this pair would have no way of fighting back against such unfair charges. If they did abandon their age-old practice and go to court, they would open up their lives to far greater intrusion. The judicial spotlight would throw a harsh glare on the inner workings of the palace. It is sufficient to say that the pair are two senior figures in the royal family. That is precisely why they have been targeted. But this paper knows that the accusations of racism are a calumny, since both of them are renowned for their public-spirited work with people of all backgrounds. We expect the great British public, utterly fed up with the schemings of Team Sussex, will be on the side of this paper and the royals in any forthcoming battle.